Now, the brutal, horrific and often very sudden events in Syria have been captured in a remarkable series of images by Tracey Shelton. She's a correspondent for the world news site Global Post. 7 frames depict the tank fire which killed 3 rebel fighters recently in the northern city of Aleppo. And those images are tonight reverberating around the world. Earlier, Tracey Shelton explained to me just what happened.
I was staying out on the front line in Salahadin with this rebel group. Basically, I mean, there was patches of fighting here and there, but it had quietened off a bit from the last few weeks. There'd been just a tank attack the day before. This is early morning. The guys were actually just cleaning up from the tank attack, hosing down and just sweeping the area. I was actually just taking a bit of footage because it was it's quite a surreal setting. It's so peaceful. It's almost cute, you know, these guys doing the housekeeping on the front lines. A second photo, it was literally just a second, a call came through that someone had heard a tank in the area. So the guys just threw the brooms down, grabbed the weapons. Literally within a couple of seconds, they've gone from cleaning, grabbing the weapons, and then the blast came through there. The next couple of shots is the smoke that came over, and it went back a long way down the street. After the 5th shot, I ran back myself because I was getting covered in the dust and debris started really coming down. So I ran back a bit, and we stood back behind this cloud and just were waiting for the guys to come running through. These guys who'd just been sitting and joking and talking with for the last few days we'd spent with them, and no one came. And it just became apparent after a few minutes that what had happened. And as the cloud of smoke came down, we just were left with this scene of their bodies. And it was really tragic and a really surreal experience to go suddenly from something so relaxed and casual to death. It's within those couple of seconds. The last photo there is of the one survivor of the 4 mourning the loss after we found the 3 men's bodies.
It was, and I say this as a war correspondent to another, if you like, that was pretty close for you too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was the next person up, so we had the 3 guys at the front, and then the other man who was injured, and then I was the next one. Yeah, I certainly felt the rubble coming down on me as the explosion sort of kicked in.
What does it leave you feeling, Tracey, in terms of your own future work? Does it make you want to redouble your efforts to go back in there to tell the story of these guys?
The reaction to these photos has just been so overwhelming, and I think a lot of these people hadn't really thought much about it before or really put themselves in that situation. This is exactly what we do it for, so it definitely makes me more determined to go back.
The work of Tracey Shelton, and next week we have a special report coming up from Syria. The French journalist Mani has embedded himself with the Farouk Brigade of the Free Syrian Army. And we'll be showing you something of life on the front line, as perhaps you've never seen it before. And we reveal the anatomy of a rebellion and meet the men trying to bring down the Assad regime. That's next week on Channel 4 News.